Are you losing sleep at night because you're worried about the potential of a criminal charge? Well, it makes sense to start preparing as soon as you possibly can. I have no doubt that if that's the case, you may have hired a defense attorney already. You may be turning to friends and family and trying to get some guidance. But shouldn't you learn everything there is to know before you go to the extraordinary expense of hiring a defense attorney? The first thing you want to do is really understand the entire landscape of what's to come. And that's why we've provided you with this 25-point plan that will help you make better decisions during this traumatic, tumultuous time in anybody's life. If you're facing these kinds of challenges, we really think you should educate yourself and learn as much as possible as soon as possible. And that's the reason we've created this rather lengthy series of videos. There's going to be 25 videos. I'll do my best to keep them short, but at the end of the day, we want you to download our 25-point plan that's free so that you can assess yourself. You want to be able to assess how ready you are to confront the challenges ahead. And our PDF plan will help you, just like these series of videos and all of the information that's available on our website will help you. And the first video, which is what we're doing right now, talks about how does an investigation begin. People who are non-criminogenic don't really understand how they can become the target of an investigation. They don't understand what happens. But investigations that involve street-level crime are rather simple. If law enforcement officers view a crime or a crime is reported or they report to the scene of the crime, they gather the evidence, they go after the suspect, they bring him into custody, and that launches a series of proceedings. But what about business-related crimes? What about white-collar crimes? What about crimes that have something to do with either the allegation of deceit or dishonesty or misrepresentation? What about the allegations of willful blindness, this theory that you have criminal responsibility because you either knew that something was going wrong or you should have known that something was going wrong? When investigation begins of that nature, you may not really understand what to do. So what happens is we in the federal government, not we in the federal government, but our federal government is so big and so complex, and our pursuit or commitment to mass incarceration is growing so big that anybody can be charged with a crime. So it's really important to understand, well, how does all of this start? If you understand how investigations begin, you may be able to make a better decision, a more informed decision before you hire an attorney. Because hiring an attorney to represent you on a white-collar crime is not going to be a small undertaking. At the very minimum, you should expect to spend $20,000 even if you're going to plead guilty. And sometimes it's better to go with a federal defender because those federal defenders have incredible training and they've got a real depth and breadth of resources that can help people who don't have the financial resources to hire private or independent counsel. But it all starts really for you to understand how an investigation begins. Sometimes these investigations begin when civil law enforcement officers learn about the way a company does business. And they may start an investigation by filling out a lead form, going through the sales cycle, listening to call scripts. They may continue that investigation by trying to reach out to people, which we'll discuss in the next video. But that initial investigation is probably being conducted in secret. So you may not even know that an investigation is going on, but the more you know that these investigations take place in secret, the more you might be able to have your eyes open. You don't want to be like an ostrich living with your head in the sand, wondering what's going on and believing that because you don't know what's going on, the investigation is going to pass you by. My recommendation is that you remain vigilant at all times. Of course, we encourage you to operate in compliance with all rules and regulations, but sometimes things happen that other people do that can draw you in. Sometimes a newspaper article may prompt an investigation. Sometimes if it's a financial crime revolving around publicly traded companies, maybe unusual movements in a stock can launch an investigation. When these investigations begin, a series of events starts taking place, and what you have to be anticipating is that just as you are trying to be successful in business or successful in your career, government investigators are also trying to be successful. And what they're trying to do is gather evidence that will help elevate their careers. And how do they elevate their careers? Well, by bringing charges, whether a civil lawsuit or a criminal charge against somebody else. Don't let that happen to you blindly. Make sure that you download our free 25-point plan so that you can do your own self-assessment and assess, are you ready to deal with the incredible complexities of a government investigation or a criminal charge. You can get it for free. You can visit our website at prisonprofessors.com. We do encourage you to subscribe to us if you're watching us on YouTube so that you can learn more about how to protect yourself and get best possible outcomes. In our next video, we are going to talk about witnesses, subjects, and targets of an investigation and what you need to know. My name is Michael Santos. Download your free 25-point guide and subscribe to us on YouTube. Like us on Facebook. We are here to help you. Our motto is we did the time so you won't have to.